are you?
The beautiful and talented Miss Erin. What's up? How are you?
I am great. Thank you so much. I'm so happy that you were able to come here today
I'm
and
here.
yeah, kind of share a couple minutes with me. Um, I just have a couple questions for you. First, I want you to introduce yourself though, so people kind of know who you are.
Thank you. And before we get started, let me say happy holiday season. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. How was it? Was it okay?
Very chill, very chill, very chill. Yeah, this year I decided to just kind of rest.
Chill is good.
Yes, yes,
Thank you. Well, yeah. So my name's Anthony. You and I have spoke before. For your
yeah.
audience members who may not know me, my name is Anthony Blankenship, award-winning author, speaker, and friend of the show. So thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you so much. And I encourage people to get the book. And when we put this out, I'll definitely share the book and how people can purchase it. Because I mean, it really is a good book. I bought it, I think, like in the summer. I think it was the summer I may have purchased it.
Yeah,
Or whatever you.
you were an early supporter, so thank you.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's a really good book, and it's not just for dads. Like it really applies to uh everybody, in regards to like relationships and self-awareness. So I really encourage people to support what you're doing for sure.
100%. Thank you. And for your listeners who may not be familiar, the book is about breaking cycles of toxic family trauma. It's called First Generation Father: How to Build a Healthy and Happy Home When You Come from a Broken One. And
Yeah.
Aaron, you hit the nail on the head. It's so much about personal growth, personal evolution, and evolving as a person. And that carries over into all of our relationships, not just relationships with our children, but with our spouses, with ourselves, with
Yeah.
our own spirituality.
Yeah.
Everything connects. I say it in the book. I say it often in my talks. Everything connects. And, this book, if you look at the Amazon reviews, got 5-star reviews. Half the
Yeah.
reviews are from women saying this book is not just for fathers. So I appreciate
Yes.
all the
Yeah.
support.
No, it's the truth. It's the truth. I mean, what they said is 100%. I mean, I know when I read it, it it really resonated with me in a lot of different ways. Like you said, even with outside of like I guess intimate relationships, more
Hmm.
so, even like with friendships and
Friends. Yeah.
within yourself. So it truly
100%.
is great work. So
Thank you.
yeah.
And congratulations on all the success. You're doing amazing things.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. It's interesting.
I always knew you would, but of course, it's good to see it all come to fruition.
Yeah, yeah, I appreciate that. As you know, when you do things, it's a lot of work, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, and you kind of visualize and like trying to get to there or getting to there, not trying but getting there. It can get interesting at times, but it's fun. When you have passion and when you love what you do, you just keep going.
It's a long, hard road, and you're not done
Mhm.
yet.
No, no, this is only the beginning. I tell you,
Just
this
the
is only the
beginning.
beginning. So yes, I appreciate your support.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a couple questions for you that
Okay.
I wanted to ask you. And one thing I wanted to know is how have you intentionally showed up and helped to bring change in the world?
Wow. That's a pretty significant question.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a good question. It's a heavy question. For me personally, I feel like showing up for my family is the top priority in my life.
Yeah.
Um, we talk about this book that I've written recently and the success that it's had. The book in and of itself is it's an accumulation of lessons that I've learned in life.
Yeah.
But primarily for me, the main catalyst that has caused me to grow and evolve into the person that I am, who could even have a message to share with the world, was the inspiration that I drew from trying to be what my family needed me to be. When you
Yeah.
come from a background of trauma, of broken relationships, of people self-serving everywhere, of a bunch of unhealed people. And I talk about it at the end of my book when I talk about forgiveness. I'm by no means trying to vilify my own parents or anything like that,
Oh,
but
sure.
they were unhealed people,
Yeah.
right? Which
Yeah.
led to things, what those things lead to: drug
Hmm.
and alcohol abuse, broken relationships, domestic issues. One person ended up in prison,
Hmm.
poverty. All those things stem from being unhealed yourself.
Yeah.
So when you come from a background like that, people in society oftentimes tell you, do better for your own family, right?
Hmm.
And people, especially men, they say, I would die for my family, I would die for mine.
Hmm.
But what I realized is that That's not what my family need. They didn't need me to be willing to die for them. They needed to literally learn how to live for them, learn how to heal for them,
Mm,
grow, evolve into the person who can support the type of woman that my wife was destined to be, support
yeah.
my children on their journey so that they're not having a childhood that they have to recover from and heal from. So
Hmm.
learning how to do that is the way that I've shown up in my life. Learning how to be the man that my children and my wife need me to be has been a lifelong journey. And much like
Hmm.
your success, I know that I'm just getting started because
Oh, sure.
their needs of me continues to evolve, which means I have to continue to evolve as a person.
Yeah.
So doing that is how I showed up for my family. And in turn, I didn't realize that this was going to happen. But in turn, it's become something that I can make into an actionable plan, put into a book, and then help other people speed up their process so that they don't
Yeah.
have to figure it out over 20, 30 years like I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's true. And it's funny how you mentioned, how people say just do this, or you need to just be better than what you had, but
How?
nobody, you don't know how, right?
How?
Exactly. So I mean, we literally are learning
Yeah.
as we go, and our experiences do shape us. And we either take one
100%.
direction or the other, right? It's like we either choose to do the same thing or we choose to do something different. So I
Yeah.
mean, I really
And so
applaud
many
you for
people
that.
want, and so many people genuinely want to do better,
Yeah,
but they don't know how.
they just don't know
Like,
how.
how? There's so many
Yeah,
layers and complex issues happening, all your, societal expectations, the roles within your relationship, your finances, then you're trying to figure out how to raise these children in a world that's
yeah,
continually changing. If you don't have an actionable plan, if you don't have a blueprint to follow,
yeah.
it's easy to just get lost, and you just, like the
Oh
saying
yeah,
goes, when people don't know what to do, they do what they know. They revert to what they saw growing up, and for most of us
yeah.
it's not healthy, and you end up repeating the same cycle.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, all
Yeah.
those outside influences, and then the stuff like you said, just your inner turmoil that you go through, and different things that's trying to evolve within you. But again, you just don't have the tools on how to
Yep.
communicate and express. So no, I really appreciate
Mhm.
the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
My second question for you is, what's the
Did I answer
lesson?
that? I want to make sure I answered the question though.
No, you did.
That's how I showed up,
Yeah.
and that's, how I'm showing up for the world.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely answered it. Yeah,
Okay.
it's interesting. We all have uh different ideas on how to show up. Like some people, may think of these big grand, all over the world or being national. And sometimes, I mean, we do have to start right at home. I mean,
Right
that's
at
that's
home.
a beautiful thing. And so especially when we're trying to break generational like you said, trauma and curses, as people say,
That's no
generational
joke. That work
struggles.
is no joke.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I mean, I applaud anybody that takes that step and recognizes that they need to take that step.
Yes,
Sometimes
ma'am.
we don't even recognize that we are so trauma filled. You know what I'm saying? So,
Most
oh yeah,
times.
you definitely answered it.
Good.
So what's the lesson that you learned that you didn't understand at the time but you do now?
Wow, great follow-up question. Um,
Mhm.
for me, that the lesson is, that everything connects.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, I thought that I could compartmentalize things. You know,
Mhm.
I talk in the book about what I call your three primal energies: your
Mhm.
warrior energy, your intellectual energy, and your spiritual energy. It took me years and years and years to figure out that all of these things are connected,
Yeah.
and the importance of being able to have a healthy perspective of each, have healthy warrior energy, healthy intellectual energy, healthy spiritual energy. um when you're younger, you think your actions are, in a vacuum almost.
Yep.
I'm right, I'm compartmentalizing my life into all these different sections, but what I later realized is that isn't how it works.
Yeah.
And issues that you're not addressing over here may pop up over here, and if you don't have enough wisdom or insight, you don't see the connection, you don't
Yep.
understand, oh, this thing that I was avoiding over here is popping up over here. You
Mhm.
just don't know. And that's
Yeah.
how life, puts you in situations. You go, how did this happen? And then
Yeah.
eventually you get enough wisdom to go, oh, geez, I figured it out. But for too many people, that happens after catastrophic events in life, after failed relationships, after you've raised your children in a less than ideal way. Then when you're older and you have the wisdom to go, oh my God, all that
That's
stuff connected. And I never
yeah,
figured this out from my childhood, which led to this, which led to poverty or these poor choices or this failed relationship. Ah, now I get it. And
yeah,
then you're trying to tell the people younger than you, oh, you try to give them some wisdom. And by that time, the cycle's perpetuating itself and they're trying to figure it out for themselves. So the one thing that I have learned in all this is that everything connects.
yeah,
Nothing takes place in a bubble.
right.
And you know, having that wisdom and insight has saved me so much pain and heartache moving forward.
Yeah.
Because when things happen to me now, I have granted I'm still a human, so I still have
Oh,
bad
yeah.
days and
Oh,
negative
yeah.
negative events in my life. But
Mhm.
ultimately I'm pretty quick now at turning them around and figuring out how is this actually gonna help me? How is this teaching me? How is this helping me grow and evolve?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
What is it teaching me? That's something I always ask is what is this trying to teach me? Because
for sure.
things do get hard sometimes and there are different things that happen out of our control, right? And so I always have to ask, okay, what is it trying to show me? What lesson am I supposed to learn from this? And that's in business, that's personal, that's whatever,
Sure.
in different relationships, just what is it trying to teach me? So I
Sure.
appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah. To piggyback on your point, that's
Sure.
another thing that I learned in life that I wish I had known earlier is that
Mhm.
you 100% see what you look for. No
Yes.
matter what happens in your life, you see what you look for. So if
Yeah.
you're looking for opportunities to see negativity or to see how life's unfair or how you're getting a tougher break than someone else, you'll see those things,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. No, it's
But
the
if
truth.
but no matter what happens, if you're looking to learn the lesson, if you're looking to get some insight, if you're learning to gain strength and wisdom from situations, if you're looking for that, you will find that. It's
Yeah.
incredible how strong our mind and emotions are into manifesting our real life experiences.
Yeah. Oh, it's true. I
Yeah.
definitely live by that, and I definitely agree with that. And sometimes you sound crazy, right? You sound crazy when you use words like manifest and visualize and see it before it's there. And it's so interesting because especially in different religions,
Hmm.
they all say the same thing when it comes to that.
They really do.
Write the vision and make it plain. And it's different. It's different sayings that people say within each religion, but sometimes when they hear it differently, it's like, no, that's not. But it's all the same. It's about, like you said, seeing it as you want it to be,
Yeah.
and that's in every circumstance. Like you said, if you're looking for negativity, you'll find it because it's out there.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
100%. I feel like if people really understood that,
Yeah.
they would govern their thoughts a lot more closely. Even
Hmm.
what we say jokingly, when people
Yeah.
jokingly say, "Oh, it's just my luck. Of course, this happened to me." Of course, man, when I hear people say that,
Yeah.
I don't want to, come off overly preachy or anything, but I feel
Yeah.
like I'm in the back of my mind. I'm thinking, man, don't do that
Yeah.
because
Our words have power.
yeah, our words have power. Don't think
Yeah.
that way because, man, you're gonna be right. It's like the old adage, no matter what you think, you're gonna be right. You know
Yeah,
what I
and you,
mean?
and you have to correct yourself. So, I mean, even like just earlier in our conversation, when I mentioned trying, whenever I use that word, I
Yeah.
always correct myself and say doing or am do. I mean, I always try to change it because it is a mindset. And if you say that you're only going to try to do something, that's
Hmm,
exactly what you're doing is just trying. But if you say
that's a good
I'm
point.
going to do it or it's going
Yeah,
to happen or whatever, it is a different type of energy that goes with that. You know what I mean?
it's a good point.
Yeah, yeah. So our words do have power. Um, one more question that I have for you
Sure.
is, and I mean, you said so many already, but if you had some words of encouragement to leave with us, what would they be?
Well, keep listening to Erin because not only is she
Oh,
smart and talented, but she has a wide variety of voices on her show. And I
yeah,
feel like, I answered a lot of stuff about the book and my own personal philosophy now. So I'll kind of step out into a broader social spectrum.
sure.
Um, I feel like these are obviously trying, intense times in society.
Yeah,
I don't think that things are as bad as um, social media, and all that can make it look.
yeah, yeah,
So I think that we now more than ever need to keep listening to people and people with a broad perspective, people with
yeah,
different backgrounds, people with different, you know, upbringings,
Yeah.
social, economic statuses, just
Cultures, all of
cul-
that. Yeah.
cultures, a wide variety of people.
Yeah.
I think now more than ever, we need to seek that out and not fall into echo chambers of people who have the same exact mindset as us.
Yeah.
Um, just to make sure that we keep evolving and progressing as a society.
Yeah.
And I was only halfway joking when I said people need to continue to listen to you,
Oh,
but I'm being serious about you providing a voice for a broad group of people, and you provide a safe space for people to listen to varying opinions where people can come and know I may hear something different here, but Aaron's going to keep it within the bounds of um, respect and
yeah.
the appropriate.
Yeah.
um, it may be
Disagreement.
different, but it's going to
Yeah.
be respectful and it's going to be appropriate. And I think that's incredibly important. And I think you're doing an amazing thing for society.
Oh, I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
It's really interesting because it's just interesting. I'll put it that way. It's really interesting when you get different people together,
Yeah.
because everybody wants to be heard, but
Yeah.
then sometimes everybody doesn't want to hear everybody.
100%. I say
So,
it in my book,
yeah,
people often think communication is just talking. No, that's only half of communication. The other half is listening and actually genuinely hearing somebody.
you have to listen. To me, it's just imperative. And when you talked about echo chambers, I mean, I think a lot of us sometimes, it's validating, right? When you're around people that constantly agree with you and
Yeah.
say exactly what you say and think how you think, it's very validating and you feel good about it. You feel like, you're on the right track. But for me, I intentionally go into spaces try to anyway and engage with people who are different from me
Yeah.
because I think it helps grow you, cultivate you, and just kind of, like you said, broaden your whole viewpoint on life. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's
I
just
think
important.
it deepens you as a person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah,
society is made up of so many people, um, that I think now more than ever it's important that we do that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, yeah. We have to be creative when it comes to that. And I think about your wife. She's a beautiful, of course, and
Thank you.
just
I
a
think
lovely.
about her too. I think about her all the time.
She is just fantastic. But with her being an artist, I think about us. I call us creatives. I
Yeah.
haven't done much lately because I've been busy with some other things. But even with this, I've been able to use some creativity. But
Mhm.
when you're creative, I think a lot of times you can see outside the box sometimes because you like see things differently.
Yes,
So I
ma'am.
always value creatives and people who do that type of work. And I mean, even with being an author, I mean that's a part of being creative. Creativity comes in so many different ways.
For
And we
sure.
just have to really tap into that part of us to keep us open,
Yep.
you know.
Yep. 100%.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you for taking the time today and stopping by. And I truly do encourage people to buy the book and really just for one support. I mean, support small business and things like that. I think that's
Yes, ma'am.
important. People who are living their dreams, right? Because a lot of times we're afraid, and I say we just as a collective. Sometimes we're afraid to follow our dreams, but if somebody else is following theirs, support that.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know
That's
I
true.
think that's really important. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. First generation father, how to build a
Yes.
healthy and happy home when you come from a broken one. It's won multiple awards, available on Amazon, available on audiobook, available at my website, anthonyblankenship.com. And real quick, if anybody wants to contribute to a reader in need, I have a mechanism on my website through which you can do that.
Oh
If you want
yes,
to
you
give
do that too.
$5 toward a book or $10 toward a book or $100 or $1,000, all those 100% of the that donated money is given to is goes towards purchasing books, and those books go to whoever the donator prefers. Books have ended up in prisons. Books have
I
ended
was
up
gonna
in
say I thought you
community
said
centers,
something.
libraries, nonprofit organizations. The book's been spread everywhere like that. So that's a
No,
great
I
way
think
for
that's
people to give.
important. I think that's good. That's I'm glad you mentioned that because that is something that you were doing that I thought was commendable. So I really hope that people can contribute to that so it can go to people that need it and maybe can't afford it or don't have access to it. So
For sure. Like I said, I believe we talked about this in our last interview. A lot of the people who need this book, at the point they realize they need it, their life is on fire, right? A lot of
yeah.
people they may be in legal trouble. They're going through social, emotional trauma. Their relationships are failing.
Well, that's
They,
most of us, right?
that's
Most
most
of
of
us
us.
are kind of reactive and not proactive. So yeah,
That's
go
right.
ahead.
So oftentimes when they need it most, their world is on fire and they may not have even the mental bandwidth to seek this out. So now's a great time. If you know somebody in your life, you give them this book and tell them, if you get it from my website, they're all signed, and you tell them, hey, this book made me think of you. And,
Yeah, yeah.
spread some
Well, and it's
uplifting
the
words.
holiday
It's holiday
season,
season.
so if people are into, gift giving during this time of the year, and I know everybody doesn't celebrate that, but if you're into gift giving this time of the year, this is be a perfect time to support and give at this time. So
100%.
yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Anthony. Give your family my love, and I
I
wish you
will.
all the best.
I will. My wife loves you, by the way. Keep doing what you're doing.
Oh, oh, I do. She's just so cute. I love her. All
All
right,
right,
thank
y'all.
you.
Keep
All right,
breaking bread.
thanks.
Peace.